Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session of Unit 2, New Hello First Secondary. Let's start our session. The lesson is about supporting the community, and we can see in the picture here Mohammed Salah and his daughter. As for the objectives, the reading objectives, a text about Egyptian people who help their communities, write a blog on a famous person, biography of Dr. Leela Hazza, listening an interview with Dr. Leela Hazza, speaking discussion about helping people, making arrangements. Language is about present simple and past simple, and the present simple passive. As for the life skill, it's about empathy. And what is empathy? Empathy, according to Oxford Dictionary, it is the ability to understand another person's feelings, experiences, etc. Like empathy with somebody, with something, like the writer's imaginative empathy with his subject. There could be empathy for somebody or something, like empathy for other people's situations. As you see here in the photo, the first part, which is about who is in the photo, it is, as you see, Mohammed Salah with his daughter. How do you think he helps people in the community? You know that Mohammed Salah has done a lot of charitable work in his life. Here is a suggested answer to the question. Mohammed Salah helps people by donating to charity in Egypt. He donated money to his hometown of Negrik to build a school, and he has helped a children's cancer hospital in Cairo. If you look at the vocabulary used in the unit here, the focus vocabulary, we have words, blood pressure, generous, iron levels, role model, speed, and transplant. As for the definitions of the words that we've just mentioned, blood pressure, as you see, is a measure of the pressure at which blood flows through the body. Generous, willing to give money, help, etc., especially more than is usual. Iron levels, iron is a chemical element which exists in small amounts in the blood. The level is the amount or quantity of iron present. Role model is a person who people admire and try to copy their behavior. Speed, how fast something moves or travels. Transplants means medical operations in which a new organ is put into someone's body. Let's start with the first reading passage in the unit. People who help. Mohammed Salah is one of Egypt's most famous footballers. He is admired for his speed and ability to score goals. In 2017, he scored in 2017, he scored the goal to send Egypt to their first World Cup final since 1990. Salah has been praised for his kind and generous donations to charity in Egypt. He donated money to his hometown of Negrig to build a school, and he has helped Children's Cancer Hospital in Cairo. Salah's desire to help others is because he wants to give young people a chance to succeed. He is a role model to millions of Egypt. He's a role model to millions of Egyptians who gave him the nickname the Happiness Maker. The Happiness Maker. As for the second passage, blood donors. Every year on the 14th of June, countries around the world take part in World Blood Donor Day to share information about the importance of giving blood. Why should people donate blood or give some of their blood? You know, you donate money, you donate blood. Donating blood can help people if they have been badly injured or need regular blood transplants because they have a long-term illness. Giving blood can also have health benefits. All donors have their blood pressure and iron levels checked before donation. So people who donate blood can find out quickly, if they have any health problem. Giving blood can save lives, and it is easy to do. If we have a look at the vocabulary words in the lesson, read both parts of the text, match the meanings below with the words in the text. Well known, for example, means famous. How about the words respected someone, gave something, wish, hurt, for a long time? I give you a minute to think about it, then I'm going to show the answers. Well known means famous, it's answered. Respected someone means admired. Gave something, donated. Wish means desire. Hurt means injured. And long and for a long time means long term. We move now to the next part, which is the reading task. You are going to read both texts quickly and choose to complete the sentences. For example, Muhammad Salah helps people by, as you see, the four choices. Choose, of course, all the above. He helps by building houses, giving money, and being a role model. I'll give you 1 minute to think about the answers to the next two questions. I mean questions 2 and 3. So for the second question, people should give blood. Of course, it is both A and B. It helps injured people and it increases health benefits. As for number 3, World Blood Donors Day is, of course, it is 14th of June. If you look at the answers here from the text, 14th of June. And then we move to question number 4. What is the main idea of the two texts? Exactly. It's number C. You can help people anywhere at any time. I would like you to look at the questions once more, read the text again, and answer the questions. What do people around the world think of Salah? What has Salah helped to build in the Greek? Why is Salah sometimes called the happiness maker? And why do people celebrate World Blood Donor Day on 14th of June each year? And why should people donate blood? Now you read the questions, take the questions one by one, refer to the text, and find the answers to these questions. I'll give you minutes to think about it. So, what do people around the world think of Muhammad Salah? They think, as you know, Muhammad Salah is admired for his intelligence and his ability to score goals. What has Muhammad Salah helped to build in the Greek? He has helped to build a school in the Greek. And why is Muhammad Salah sometimes called the happiness maker? He is sometimes called so because of his desire to help others and give young people a chance to succeed and, of course, to be happy. Why do people celebrate World Blood Donor Day on 14th of June each year? They celebrated to share information about the importance of giving blood. And as for the last question, should people donate blood? Of course, they should donate blood because it helps them to help people if they have been badly injured or they need blood transplant because they have a long-term illness. As for the next question, is actually made for class discussion. For example, what benefits do you think both Muhammad Salah and the blood donors get from their effort? You can have this as like an open question that you can answer it the way you like. Maybe, maybe you feel the joy of helping others. You feel satisfied that you are doing something good for yourself. You might be put in the same situation one day so that you may find somebody to help you. Uh, as for the next part of the writing, of course, you can write this in your notebook. What can you do to help your community? This is like a free question. You can think about it in different ways, how you can help people in your community. And you can write a list of the ideas and that you might have in mind, and you can compare this to compare these ideas with your partner. We move now to the next page, which is lesson 2, vocabulary. Check the meanings of these words. The two words are roar and prestige. As for the meaning of the word roar, it is, of course, to make a very loud, deep sound, like, for example, that of a lion. We heard a lion roar. As for the word prestige, it is the respect and value that somebody or something has because of their social position and what they have done. Synonym for the word is status. Like personal prestige, there is a lot of prestige attached to owning a car like this, and so on. That's for the meaning of the word prestige. Here you are going to listen to a talk. First, look at the photos and discuss what you think the talk will be about. So if you look at the two pictures that we have here, you can decide what the audio or the listening part, the listening section, will be about. The talk that you are going to listen to. As you see, if you look at the picture, this looks like somebody who is honored somehow, and it looks like they might be this might be related to traveling to Africa or whatever. We can see like a lady with a young child, and there is a herd of sheep and goats. Now you're going to listen to an interview, then complete the sentences. You are supposed to look at the text for like a minute, and then you are going to answer while listening. You have 1 minute to look at the text, and I'm going to play the audio in a minute.
Child, her
Student's Book, Unit 2, Lesson 2, Exercise 2. Now listen to an interview about Dr. Leela Hazar. Complete the sentences with one word.
In today's program, we're talking to Michelle Drake about Dr. Leela Hazar, an Egyptian conservation biologist and founder of Lion Guardians, a conservation project in Kenya. Michelle, when did Leela become interested in lions?
Well, as a child, her father told her stories about how he listened to lions roaring at night when he was sleeping on the roof of their house during the summer. But when he explained that there weren't any lions left in Egypt, she decided that when she grew up, she would find out how to save them in other countries.
What happened next?
She went to America to study conservation biology and then moved to Kenya to research lions amongst the Maasai people. It was there that she saw how quickly lions were disappearing. Did you know that 60 or so years ago there were about 200,000 lions in Africa, but that number is under 20,000 now?
So why are lions disappearing so quickly?
There are several reasons. People have built houses in the areas that lions traditionally hunt, so they can't find enough food to eat, and so they attack the villagers' livestock, their cows and goats. The villagers get angry with the lions and kill them in order to protect their animals. Another reason is prestige. In Maasai culture, young men get a lot of respect from their friends and family when they kill a lion. They are even given a lion name, which shows that they are no longer a boy, but a man.
What did Leela do?
She lived with the Maasai for a year and listened to their views about lions. She learned that they have a difficult relationship with lions. They admire their beauty, but hate them for eating their cattle. She also understood the prestige that came from being a lion killer. She realized that she needed the young men to understand that keeping livestock and having a job gave them more prestige than killing a lion. So she started to teach them about the advantages of protecting lions instead.
Is that when she started Lion Guardians?
Yes. Lion Guardians is an organization that employs local people to look for lions in order to protect them. Remember, these young men already have the skills needed to track lions in the wild, so they are taught to become lion guardians rather than lion killers. The organization gives them a job and teaches them to read and write so they can help conservationists with their research.
How successful is the program?
Very. Maasai men now have jobs, a regular income, and a sense of purpose. They get to know the lions they are protecting and even give them names and talk about them with fondness.
And finally, what can other conservationists learn from Lion Guardians?
The importance of listening to people in the community and to recognize how much knowledge local people have. By working together, both the locals and conservationists can benefit.
Thank you, Michelle. And at 8 o'clock tonight, you can see a brand...
Okay, so that's all about that part. Now let's have a look at the answers. Here are the answers to the exercise. As you see, number 1 is Egypt, number 2, father, number 3, 20,000, 4, angry, 5, name, 6, year, 7, skills, 8, work, 9, jobs, and 10, local. Now we come to a question based on the listening part that we did a moment ago. Answer the question. Lions started to attack the villagers only 6 years ago. What were the reasons for that? Actually, there are different reasons for that, okay, based on the text and the audio. And you can think about that, refer to the text, and then come back to that part. Let's have a suggested answer. As we see here, the lions have less land to live on now because there are more people and houses. For that reason, they found it harder to find food. So they started to attack the villagers when there was less food for them in the wild. Now they can't find a place to live in or to be able to hunt for food. That's why they started to attack the villagers. If you go back once more to our questions, these are like some questions for discussion that you can discuss in pairs with different ideas. The Maasai turned from lion killers to lion guardians, but still they felt honored. Why? According to the text, of course. And what message does Dr. Leela's story tell us about changing people's beliefs? So as for the first question, here's the suggested answer. Of course, you can come up with your own answers after that. Number 1, because they are still doing something which people admire. Okay, feeling that you deal with animals and stuff like that might raise admiration of people around you. It shows also the second question, which is based on what message does Dr. Lee's story tell us about changing people's beliefs? Here, suggested answer is that it shows that sometimes we need to change traditional beliefs in order to protect animals or the environment, because we all live in a changing world. And this leads, leads us to the idea of resilience, that we can change and we can be more flexible to deal with the life we live in and the world we live in. And now we come to the grammar part, the grammar section, and the focused language on the present simple and the past simple. And as you see here, this like the use of the present simple, which has already been discussed earlier. You can use the present simple in situations or actions that are usually true, like my sister usually walks to school every day, the earth goes around the sun. For habits or repeated actions, often with frequency adverbs, I often watch television in the evening. I usually go to school by bus. I'm used to going to school by bus, and this is the meaning. And also for timetable, and in this case, and this is a very important point, of course, in timetables and after time close. For timetables, and this would refer to the future. If, for example, the first lesson starts at 8:15, this doesn't mean that it's like it refers to the present time. No, it refers to the future. Because in this case, as we mentioned earlier, we use the present simple for timetables with times of buses, planes, trains, etc. In timetables and after time closes, you say, I go home after I finish work, and the first lesson starts at 8:15. And as we mentioned earlier, we use this when we refer to the future for timetables, anything that's written in a timetable, like times of buses, planes, trains, etc. As for the past simple, using the past simple for completed actions and successive actions in the past. I mean, one action happened after the other. Like Leela Haza moved to Kenya to study lions. Last weekend, I went to the club and met my friends. Also use it for repeated actions and habits in the past, like Leela's father told her stories every evening when she was a child. And not say that we use the word every evening, which is used with the present simple. As I told you, talk about frequency adverb, something, how often this was repeated. So you can use it in the present, you can use it in the past. It's not limited for the present simple only. Look at the example here. My grandfather always walked to work when he was young, which means that he used to walk to work when he was young. Then about question formation, like you say it like that. Do you like lions? Does Mohammed Salah play for Liverpool? And for the past, you make it like, did Leela Haza study in America? Did Leela Haza study in America? Here we have two exercises based on the topic here. I will give you like some minutes to do it, and you can pause the recording till you do it and then check your answers. That will appear on the screen in a minute. Now you can check your answers for the first exercise. And now answers to the second exercise, which is exercise 6. Choose the correct answers to complete the dialogue. And now we come to lesson 3. Let's look at the picture, working together. Before you start, let's think of these questions. Who are the people in the photos? Who do you think hunting parties are, and why do they kill lions? And why is it important to protect animals such as lions? I'll give you like some minutes to think about it. Here are the answers. As for the first question, look at the questions once more. Who are the people in the photos? They are lion guardians. Question number 2. Why do you think hunting parties are? What do you think hunting? Question number 2. What do you think hunting parties are and why do they kill lions? The answer is hunting parties are when people kill lions for sport. Question number 3. Why is it important to protect animals such as lions? Of course, because they are disappearing all over Africa and they need support. And actually, this happened with different animals like rhinos. And let me tell you that there are only 2 female rhinos on Earth now, and this means that they will disappear forever. You are going to read the text and check your answers. You'll find the answers, of course, here in the text. Then I would like you to read the text again and answer the questions. Of course, before you read the text, you've got to read the 3 questions first. Name 3 reasons why Maasai men are selected to be lion guardians. What do you think will happen if lions disappear from Africa? And then you are asked to summarize the text in no more than 30 words. And here you got a writing tip, which is that do not include your opinion in a summary. It's a summary, and it must be objective. It must be based on what you are reading, and you must not mention your own opinion here. If we go through the text quickly after reading the 3 questions, of course, you can pause while watching the video or look at your books. And now let's check the answers. As for the first question, name 3 reasons why Maasai men are selected to be lion guardians. As for this question, the answer is they understand lions. The answer to the first question, number 1, they understand lions. They have the skill to monitor their movements. They can find missing livestock and stop hunting parties. They also have some knowledge of biology. As for the second question, what do you think will happen if the lions disappear from Africa? Of course, this is a just answer. You can say your own answer. They would lose, or we would lose one of the most beautiful and admired animals of Africa, and they will disappear after that and become extinct or die out, as we said earlier. As for the summary, it is your own. You can read it and write your own summary of it the way you like. If you look at the next question, read the text again and underline all the passive forms. If you look at the words here and the passive forms in the text that we have, as you see here, which is based, for example, okay? They are attacked, as you see, and instead of saying the lions attack the villagers, we make it in the passive and we say the villagers are attacked by lions and so on. Here are examples. Here are examples of passive verbs in the text, like is based, are killed, are chosen, are given, is sent, are attacked, and is done, are taught, and are monitored. What you're going to do here is that you're going to look at this exercise. You can pause the screen, as we mentioned earlier, and change this into passive. For example, the young men are taught to be field biologists. You got what I mean? Which means that some people teach young men to be field biologists. You'll have like 1 minute, like local people give jobs. So think about it. So local people give jobs. So it will be like local people are given jobs. The community encouraged to look after the lions. So the community, what do you think? Exactly, is encouraged. Here you talk about the community itself. If you talk about the members, you can say are encouraged. So both are correct. If you talk about the community as one thing, as a unity, as one thing, you say is encouraged. If you talk about the members of the community, so it's okay if you say are encouraged, both are correct. Lions not hunt as much as in the past, so exactly the right answer is are not hunted. Money bring into the area by tourists, so money, of course, is brought. Lion guardians need in other countries, so lion guardians are needed in other countries. I'd like to check all the answers together. This is a language notice. Words for jobs often end in IST, like when I say scientists, biologists, artists, and so on. And for the language review, of course, you can refer to the same book, page 79, which is about the person. Of course, let me tell you something that for each unit, there is a section in the workbook that you need to cover. I mean, for each lesson. And now we come to the writing part. In groups, you are asked to find out about other famous Egyptians who are helping their communities, not only Muhammad Salah. You can choose someone you are all interested in and then use the internet to do your search. We can talk about like different people who helped the community, the Egyptian communities. Then after that, there's some useful language that can be used. Like, for example, this person was born in, and you can talk about the place he was born in and the date. He or she lived in. So the first one, you can talk about the place and the when or the year he or she was born, or you can just talk about the year he or she was born, and then after that talk about the place or whatever. Maybe this person lived in other areas after they were born. Feel free, of course. They lived in whatever, in Alexandria, for example, as a child, but moved to Cairo after that. He works as blah, blah, blah. He or she helps. And his work or her work is talk about this. And this is important. You think that this is important because the paragraph will, or the piece of writing will be divided into three parts: the introduction at first, and then write about the name, the date, and the place of birth, talk about the job, what he or she is doing. Then you go after that to the body part and write about how this helped the community. And of course, in the conclusion, you are going to write about why you think he or she is important. And here we got two pictures. One of them is for Sir Magdi Ya'u, the King of Hearts. And your task would be after that, you are going to use the notes to write about the person you chose and write simple 3-paragraph essay with an introduction, body, and conclusion. And that is all for this unit, Unit 2, of course, without the part of the Treasure Island, which will be talked about later. And I wish you all the best and goodbye.